What's up, YouTube? It's JackalGoldKick, and in this video, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on sports. So when it comes to sports, there's a few that I don't mind, which I guess I would say wrestling. I did grow up liking wrestling. I have played some wrestling games I don't mind. I've liked some movies that have involved sports, like one, for example, I like the Grid Run Gang, whatever you call the movie that The Rock did with Exhibit, where they're training a football team. That's a great film. That was one of the last good movies The Rock did. And, Space Jam's a good film. And what else could I say about sports? Boxing's pretty cool, especially like boxing type films. But honestly, I'm not hardcore into sports. And one of the reasons for that could also be sort of how my upbringing was. So when I was growing up, sports were forced on me from my father, who was not a good father. I've talked about many times on this channel things with him. He was into sports. He played sports in his life, and that's something he pushed on me. It's like he wanted me to be into it because he was into it. And like with some of the sports things you'd have on TV, or like that one time I was signed up to play flag football, which I did not enjoy it. I wasn't into sports, and it feels like I was pressured into being into that because he was into that, which is bullshit because you should let your kids figure out, okay, this is what they're into, not push what you think or what you're into on them. That's just not right. And that's one of the reasons I would say I'm not really into sports, but also because I just don't find them that really interesting. Like basketball, I don't really watch or follow. I don't really watch or follow baseball. I don't really watch or follow hockey. I don't watch or follow football. I don't really care about MMA personally, even though I know it's a dangerous sport and stuff. It's just I've never been interested in it, to be honest with you. I've never cared about it. And then what other sports is there? There's tennis. Don't care about that. I'm just not really into most sports. I also don't really enjoy playing sports. I've played basketball in the past, like with my brother and certain people, and I've dabbled with pool, which that's okay. And I think I've played some golf games as well. But for the most part, I'm not really into sports like that. I'm just not into basketball or football or any other stuff, and I don't really tune into the TV stuff about it. At most, I would say I would probably just be casual with some sports. I can watch and enjoy some movies that involve sports. Like I like the Gene Hackman film. I think it's called Hoosiers or something like that, where he's training a basketball team. I also like the Ben Affleck film The Way Back, where he's struggling with a drinking problem while also trying to train a sports team. I think the reason I can deal with those is because they have actors in them. It's like a story around it. But real sports itself, don't play them, don't care to play them, don't really care to be into them, and don't really care to follow it and, be into it. And even to the extent also of video games. I don't really play sports video games like that. I don't really care about Madden or NFL or, NBA, or I just don't care about any of that stuff, honestly. I played a boxing game in the past, one of the fight nights, that was pretty cool. But sports just aren't really my thing for the most part, aside from a few things I did mention. Like, Super Bowls I never cared for either. Just, it's just one of those things, and like I said, maybe half of this is because of the upbringing, and, even in school, I didn't care all that much for sports. Like in school, when I was in PE or the gym or whatever they call it, I was mostly just, I would spend my time daydreaming and just playing out these like imaginary scenarios. There's other things I'm into more than sports. Like I'm more into video games, music, movies. Those are the kind of things I like more. And that's what I'm into. Even as a kid, like I mentioned, I didn't care much about PE or gym class. I didn't care much about sports as a kid or even playing it. I was more into playing video games, watching cartoons, listening to music, hanging out with friends, stuff like that. I didn't care about sports stuff even as a kid. So those would be things I'm into more compared to sports. I would say I'm more of that kind of person than a sports person. I mean, these days I am involved in exercise, walking and dumbbell workouts, but when it comes to the athletic sports side, I don't care about that. So that's really it for this video on my thoughts on sports. Let me know in the comments how you feel about sports. Make sure to go check out my merch, go subscribe to my gaming channel, Jackal Gold Games. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say in this video. Peace out.